Take that off! Now! The words cut through the jewelry store like a blade. Every conversation stopped. Every head turned. The store manager stood behind the glass counter, her finger pointed straight at the watch on his wrist. "I'm not saying it again," she said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Take that off, now, or I'm calling the police." Silence swallowed the room. The man didn't move. He stood there calmly, wearing a plain button-down shirt, dark jeans, no visible logos, no signs of wealth, just quiet confidence. A couple near the display case stepped closer. Someone lifted a phone, pretending to check messages while recording. Another customer whispered, "I knew it." "That kind of watch doesn't belong on someone like you," the manager continued, her voice sharp, unapologetic. "Either you stole it, or you thought no one here would notice." The security guard shifted his weight and stepped forward, arms crossed. He didn't ask a question. He didn't intervene. The judgment had already been made. The man looked down at his wrist, then slowly raised his eyes to meet hers. "Are you absolutely sure about what you're accusing me of?" he asked, his voice low, steady. She smirked. "I'm positive. I've seen this exact situation more times than I can count." A few people nodded in agreement. Others avoided eye contact, uncomfortable but silent. The man took a slow breath. Without arguing, without raising his voice, he reached for his wrist and removed the watch. He placed it carefully on the glass counter. For many watching, that moment felt like confirmation. "Good," the manager said, already satisfied. "Now we'll do this the right way. Call the police." Minutes later, 2 officers entered the store. "What seems to be the issue?" one of them asked. "That man was caught with a stolen watch," the manager said immediately, pointing. "We stopped him before he could leave." The officer examined the watch, then looked at the man. "Sir, can I see your ID?" He handed it over without hesitation. His hands didn't shake. His expression didn't change. As the officer checked the information, the manager crossed her arms. "It's always the same," she said loudly, making sure everyone heard. "They walk in acting calm, thinking no one will question them." Phones were still recording. The store felt tense, heavy. Then the officer's expression changed. He looked at the ID again, then at the man, then back at the watch. "One moment," he said. Before anyone could speak, another man entered the store in a tailored suit. He stopped as soon as he saw the scene. "Mr. Harris," he said, clearly relieved, "I've been trying to reach you." The entire room froze. The manager turned slowly. "Who are you?" she asked. The man adjusted his jacket. "My name is Daniel Reynolds," he said. "I'm the regional director for this brand." He pointed at the watch on the counter. "That model isn't available for sale," he continued. "It's a prototype. There are only 3 in the country." People exchanged confused looks. "And all 3 belong to the same person," he added. He turned to the man who had been accused, the majority shareholder of this company. The air left the room. The manager's face drained of color. The security guard uncrossed his arms. One phone slipped from someone's hand and hit the floor. The officer cleared his throat and handed the watch back. "I apologize, sir," he said quietly. Daniel Reynolds turned to the manager. "You accused a customer publicly," he said, his voice calm but firm. "You didn't check records. You didn't ask questions. You didn't show basic respect." She tried to speak. Nothing came out. "You're terminated," he said. "Effective immediately." The man placed the watch back on his wrist. He looked around at the faces that had judged him moments earlier. "Today, it was a watch," he said calmly. "Tomorrow, it could be someone else." Assumptions like that destroy lives. He paused. And they're never about the watch. He turned and walked out. No one applauded. No one spoke. The silence that remained wasn't embarrassment anymore. It was awareness. If this story made you reflect, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Tell us in the comments where you're watching from. These stories are reaching further than you think.